Ron, we're back with another question from our member. Ron, I was raised in the Jewish faith and have awakened to the evil from everything that I have learned. Do you have any insight on the reasons for such customs as circumcision and the belief system for the Bible? Any comments?
Okay. Well, we could break into some real core beliefs. Is this a time to approach that? I'm getting yes. Let's approach it. Let's just say the Bible has a God that says to you, if you will do what I ask you to do, then I will be your God, and I will direct you, and I will protect you, and da 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 da. Well, that's the way that society has been built. And the Jewish faith and all of the children of Israel think that they're better than other people because their God told them that. Therein lies the problem. Now, if you understand that the entity that is called God in the Old Testament is not real, is not the real God. It's just somebody acting like God because you allow them to be the God over you. Now you can get back into the knowledge, into the histories, and that will come up real soon. If you haven't already studied it, you'll understand. There are certain attributes of God that you just cannot break. And why would God say, you get to be my people, and you other guys over there, go away and get what you can out of life? But these are my people over here because they told me that they'll do everything I ask them. And of course, they come back, what if I don't obey you? Then I'll kill you. That's their God. You think that's a God that you want to follow? If you don't do what I say, I'm going to flood the earth and kill all of you people and all of the animals and everything else. Is that the God you want to follow? Let's get back into the reality of things. The children of Israel were no better than any other children of God. Yes, they had prophets and all that sort of stuff. They lived their lives the way that they thought was appropriate. Isn't that what we're all doing? Why would God find favor in some and not all of them? You mean he doesn't love those people over there who he just told to go away and live your own life the way you want to? No. There's a duality in the third dimension that has been perpetrated upon mankind for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Now it's time for us to grow up. Let's get rid of the law of Moses, the law of performances and ordinances, and let's get on with love. Let's love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, might, mind, and strength. And let's love one another as we learn to love ourselves. If you can't love yourself, where is your value of love? It's in other people. It's in other people fulfilling what you want from them instead of you taking care of yourself and living your own life according to what the Spirit of God tells you to do. Why is it so important for us to learn how to listen to the voice of the Spirit? How important is it to focus on listening so that we can understand? You go back and read the mission statement of Love One Society. It's based upon revelation between you and your God. You don't have to have a prophet. You don't have to have anything outside of just between you and God. You just have to learn how to communicate. And so there's these principles that are derived as we look at the falsities of organized religions, as the Old Testament tells us about. Jesus came up with a way of living that will produce you to do greater things than he did. Now, if we use that as an example of how great people are, how many of them are walking on the water? How many of them are healing the sick? How many of them are following? How many of them can come into a room and you feel the presence of love? Some people do that, yes. I'm not saying that they don't. But how many of us who think we are following the way that Jesus taught us are doing the same things? How can you believe that that's true if you're not having those kinds of experience? That must mean that you're not in the way. That must mean that the way you're going about your life is not productive as far as Jesus is concerned. Because if it was productive, you'd be doing the things that Jesus did, and greater things shall you do. Boy, are we getting down to the realities of what's going on in this life that we're trying to get away from? We're trying to get away from third dimension. We're trying to get into fifth dimension. Some of the things that you are holding on to are going to keep you here in third dimension, way beyond the ability to ascend. We're in an ascension cycle right now. So it's time for us to make the changes. Don't hold on to the things. And I'm saying this about I'm not condemning the Jewish faith. I'm not condemning it. Judaism is not a faith. Judaism is not a religion. It's a heritage. And the heritage comes from the mother. If your mother is a Jew, then you're a Jew. Your dad could be something else. But to be a real Jew, you have to have a mother who is a Jew. That's heritage. It's not a religion. But they made it a religion because they have their own God, they have their own this, they have their own that. And the patriarchal order that they created, patriarchal meaning the male dominance in society. Why do you think we have so much problem in life? Because of the warring nature of the masculine entity, of the masculine. The masculine is the negative energy unless it's balanced with female energy. Period. Exclamation point. If you have a patriarchal society, then you're going to do stuff that was not meant to be done by those who love God. War is the biggest thing. The Jews have suffered enough. But who is the problem? Where is the problem? Arrogance is one of the things that God does not support. If you're arrogant, you're going to have problems in getting anywhere when moving up into third dimension, from third to fifth dimension. It's just going to be very next to impossible until you learn that you can't do those kinds of things and still go to where you want to go, if indeed that's where you want to go. What do you want the most? Hold on to the stuff from your past? Or do you want to look down the road and see the fifth dimension coming right at us? That's the life we want to live. There's nothing wrong with the Jewish people. There's nothing wrong with us that are not Jews. Call us Gentiles. Call us what you want. We all have the same God, but you've chosen one that wants to exclude other people out of your life, out of the circumstances of your life. That's not appropriate. We got to learn these things. They're there for us to learn. They're there for us to look at, analyze, and make up our minds what we want to do and where we want to go with those things. Do we want to hold on to them, or do we want to eliminate those things that are holding us back from our ascension process? Now is the only time that you're going to have to do that, unless you want to wait for the next election or ascension cycle, another 2,000 years. So these are the things that are important for us to analyze. I'm just giving a little tip of the iceberg. If you want to research and go there yourself, then there's all kinds of stuff available. And I hope you do. I hope it's in your heart to ascend. And focusing on that is where what you need to do, and eliminate the things in your life that are holding you back. So circumcision and all that sort of stuff, it's not important. And all of the belief systems from the Bible are just simply records of people who had a God that doesn't love the other kids. If that's the God you want to follow, that's the God you've been following. It's time now for us to follow the true God. Jesus had a way, and that's what he taught. So let's be like Jesus. Let's declare ourselves as children of God, creators in our own divine right. Because that's who we are, children of God. The real God, not the artificial stuff that we've been preaching and having preached to us and having to put up with. I'm trying to wade through this without causing too much trouble. But you got to go through it. You got to go through the waiting process. Eliminate the things that don't serve you. As you do that, then you'll find the joy and the happiness that you're looking for. If you don't, then you'll have what you have for now. So that's enough for this question. Hope it helps.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you for your wisdom and insight. As the Bible says, all that's hidden will be revealed. Thank you so much. We'll be right back with another question from a member.
Okay.